Hi, sweet friends. Welcome back to another chapter in our Charlie and the Chocolate Factory adventure. Yesterday, we left our adventures off in the inventing room, and Mr. Wonka said, "Come over here and see this cool machine that I have." And he said, "Oh, I am very proud of it. Do be careful. Do not touch." Okay, so we have seen some cool things in the inventing room so far. The hair toffee, right, with the Oompa Loompa that keeps growing the beard everywhere. The everlasting gobstoppers, we've seen those so far. Chapter 20 is called The Great Gum Machine. Now think about our characters and who loves gum the most. Let's see what happens. Mr. Wonka led the party over to a gigantic machine that stood in the very center of the inventing room. It was a mountain of gleaming metal that towered high above the children and their parents. Out of the very top of it there sprouted hundreds and hundreds of thin glass tubes. And the glass tubes all curled downward and came together in a bunch and hung suspended over an enormous round tub as big as a bath. "Here we go," cried Mr. Wonka, and he pressed 3 buttons on the side of the machine. A second later, a mighty rumbling sound came from inside it. The whole machine began to shake most frighteningly. The steam began to hiss out of it all over, and then suddenly the watchers noticed that runny stuff was pouring down the insides of all the hundreds of little glass tubes and squirting out into the great tub below. And in every single tube of the runny stuff was a different color, so that all the colors of the rainbows, and many others as well, came sloshing and splashing into the tub. It was a lovely sight, and when the tub was nearly full, Mr. Wonka pressed another button, and immediately the runny stuff disappeared, and a whizzing, whirling sound took its place. Then a giant whizzer started whizzing around inside of the enormous tub, mixing up all the different colored liquids like an ice cream soda. Gradually, the mixture began to froth. It became frothier and frothier, and it turned from blue to white to green to brown to yellow, and then back to blue again. So it's mixing it up very fast, and it's making kind of like little bubbles all on the top. "Watch," said Mr. Wonka. Click went the machine, and the whizzer stopped whizzing. And now there came a sort of sucking noise. And very quickly, all the blue frothy mixture in the huge tub was sucked back into the stomach of the machine. There was a moment of silence. Then a few queer rumblings were heard, and silence again. Then suddenly the machine let out a monstrous, mighty groan. And at the same moment, a tiny drawer, no bigger than the drawer in a slot machine, popped out of the side. And in the drawer there lay something so small and thin and gray that everyone thought it must be a mistake. The thing looked like a little strip of gray cardboard. Now, did Mr. Wonka make a mistake? Did the machine malfunction and not work correctly? What is this thin gray strip in this teeny tiny drawer? Is that what all that liquid turned into? Let's find out. The children and their parents stared at the little gray strip lying in the drawer. "You mean that's all?" said Mikey TV, disgusted. "That's all," answered Mr. Wonka, gazing proudly at the result. "Don't you know what it is?" There was a pause. Then suddenly, Violet Beauregard, the silly, gum-chewing girl, let out a yell of excitement. "By gum, it's gum!" she shrieked. "It's a stick of chewing gum." "Right you are," cried Mr. Wonka, slapping Violet hard on the back. "It's a stick of gum. It's a stick of the most amazing and fabulous and sensational gum in the world." Now look, here's Mr. Wonka by his gum machine. Now, Violet is super excited because we know her most favorite thing is gum. But it's gray. it doesn't look very exciting, unlike all the runny stuff that was mixed around inside the bathtub. Why do you think Mr. Wonka calls this the most amazing and fabulous and sensational gum in the world? It looks kind of boring, right? Sounds kind of not very exciting. Our next chapter, we will learn why this gum is so amazing. But chapter 21 is called Goodbye, Violet. So, think about this gum and what's so wonderful about it. Why is Mr. Wonka so excited about this little strip of chewing gum? Find someone in your house who did not listen to the story and go tell them. Tell them what the machine did. All these things happened for this tiny little strip of gum and why you think Mr. Wonka says it's so amazing. I know that was a short one today, friends, but I promise tomorrow's chapter is longer and you will really enjoy it. So I hope you come back and I will be reading to you again soon. All right, have a good one. Bye.